Okay, thank you. But
It's pretty wrong.
well, no, 2-gate robo should be.
It depends on the types, though. I mean, there's so many different ways to go 4-gate and 2-gate robo.
Do you hear the dog?
Yeah,
Dan?
yeah.
You made the dog bark because you were so wrong about 4-gating.
It's not my dog this time, though. Believe it or not.
It's Russ's dog.
Well, look, I'm talking in general terms here. If someone's like, okay, I'm going to 4-gate him, the 2-gate robo should beat that. But if you're going 2-gate robo, like you're one of these Colossus faggots on one base, then the
What?
just randomly decide they're going to go like Phoenix. Those guys beat you then. But if you randomly decide to go Phoenix, he's actually 4-gating, you're like LOL, and you just roll him over.
Yeah, there's rock paper scissors like that. I agree with that.
All right.
You know what? Almost. You know what kind of beats everything? Those blank stalkers are actually super awesome in PvP.
Well,
I thought it was Phoenixes.
I really like the Phoenix, but I'm just talking about. I don't know if you faced a lot of this blank stalker stuff that's going on. It's been going on for a while. It's a coin flip. It's not good against some stuff, but it's good against a higher percentage of stuff than like. I feel like the robo. I think the robo's getting almost outdated a little bit.
I don't know.
So Dan, are you gonna stay on the show? For
I don't think I actually have time.
okay.
I'm sorry. I actually have like so much shit to get done this week.
All right, man. I see how it is.
Yeah.
I think you're the one that's actually fucking up the video. So.
Video, fuck you.
As soon as you joined, man, it just went to shit. It doesn't know how to connect to Germany, Texas, and Korea. Who's this
Get the
talking?
best servant in the world.
Was that Tyler's girlfriend, or was that your girl, or wife, or your?
You immediately went to your phone.
Oh, okay, that's in Jeff's. I want to meet your mic, Jeff. I think that's Russ's wife.
So, is Sake, is that how we say the ID? Sake?
No, it's actually he
Mike.
like drilled me on it earlier, and I'm gonna screw it up trying to say it too. It's Zake, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, that's not happening. I'm sorry.
Hold on, pronounce it correctly for us.
Zocke.
Zok, I don't know if you know this, but Artos has made a living off of mispronouncing people's names
I
and
know.
propagating it.
I like.
Dude, just call him
I get
Sock.
excited, man. You better never play in a tournament I commentate. You'll be known as fucking Sock, man.
Yeah, I don't really mind.
Alright, I'm just calling you Sock then for the rest of this, since you don't mind. I'll be that guy. I'll be the Artosis.
What does it mean? What is your name?
You know socks, right? Like
Yes.
a sock. That's what it means in German.
You named
Oh
yourself
fuck! I'm calling it Sock then. Why would I
after
even?
a single foot item.
Yes,
Foot
since
undergarment.
Battle.net wouldn't allow
Yeah,
the multiple.
Okay.
So that's just a single.
I respect you, sir.
Thanks.
That's pretty anyways, I have a quick question for you, because I'm going to just be like the fucking cock horse or whatever and just ask you Protoss like some questions before I start my PvP practice. Now you
This is
said
what he's leaving us for, is to go play Starcraft.
you said that the robo builds don't beat 4-gate. Why is that? I'm confused. Because they do 4-gate.
If you cut a lot of economy and you want to be really safe against 4-gate, it's like either you have to have like a double force field for a while, or a shitload of units.
Well,
And-
what about the I'm Younghua build, where he has 3 warp gates and he goes robo, and he cuts probes at 20 for a little bit?
Yeah, and the other guy's just going 1-gate robo, and you've got a problem.
Well, no, in that situation, obviously, I mean, I'm keeping my probe alive, I'm out on the map with stalkers, I normally will, unless he's, like, getting forward to make that pylon, I skip the 3rd warp gate. I do not make that, and I resume probe production.
I don't think there's actually a time to adjust, like if you see him building a pylon, like your gateway's going to take longer. I think 3-gate robo can hold a 4-gate, and if you hold it, you're fine. But, like, you gotta cut so much stuff to be safe against the really all-in 4-gate.
Well, you're going to be the same number against that.
I think the more important thing is getting your second gas as quickly. I'd rather just get the third gate no matter what. Get the second gas as quickly as I can, and then because usually the bottleneck is more gas. Like I think your robo timing will be fast enough, and then it's like, can you afford an observer, or like, you know, can you afford an immortal and colossi? Like how many stalkers can you get? Are you gonna be stuck with like 3 stalkers and 20 zealots? That kind of shit. So I think if you get the second gas quicker, you can get a better composition going, and just let the third gate finish.
The second gas hurts though against the hardcore 4 gate. It's kind of a gamble with that.
Well, if you get the 3 warp gates, you'll be fine with that. But I don't know.
Well, the timing of the second gas, what I'm talking about. Like if you do third gate before the second gas, I think you're safe. If you do the third gate after this, or like 2 gates gas, then third gate. It's kind of a risky maneuver.
I still don't think won't be 100% sure with 3 gate against 4 gate. Like,
well, the thing is, you have a robo and you're getting immortals out.
No, but the immortal is going to be too late for the initial push to come. There's like
it's popping out as the push gets there, though, because you save 2 chronos specifically for it, and you get it before observer.
So there's 6 stalkers in the zealot that you ramp. Pushing.
Yeah, and you have.
There's going to be 4 warping pretty soon.
But you have 3 stalkers, 2 zealots, a sentry, and the immortal pops, and then you have 3 warp gates up for the next round.
Doesn't sound like that's defendable, but.
Well, I mean, so far on the Korean server, it's been defendable. I mean,
usually, what ends up happening is the 4 warp gate guy is still on 1 gas, and then the guy who's defending, maybe his ramp gets broken, but if he targets the stalkers, then he ends up with maybe 4 or 5 stalkers and an immortal that he can kite the zealots around. Oh, especially like if you have a bigger base, then it's really easy. Some of these like tiny bases, like even like Zelnaga Caverns, it might be kind of hard, but with a bigger base, it's like you can like plan on having less units and being able to go pure stalker and just let them break your ramp, and they'll eventually die.
But I think actually Sock is thinking of this wrong. The timing is back from what I think you're saying it is, because you stop the initial probe. Like, my entire early game is making sure there is no probe anywhere near my base, so it delays the rush enough for me to get these units out as the rush
You mean
gets...
with three stalkers or what?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, too. Like, let's say that someone does this build specifically for a long time. The one thing Tyler brought up before when I was talking to him about it is that someone can see it, be like, oh, you're getting stalkers quick, I know what this is, and they resume pro production, get ahead that way. But you could mix this in with, hey, I get my 3 stalkers, you have no idea what I'm doing, and I switch it into a 4 warp gate suddenly. And then that would abuse anyone that's trying to abuse you knowing what your build is.
It's like a worse 4 gate, though.
Well, that would be a counter to people who are like blind countering. They're like, well, this looks like what you're doing, and so they start pro production and fuck them. You just roll them over with 4 gate.
Yeah, but you're blind countering a blind counter, which I think you're the bigger idiot.
Well, what it has to involve is a nice poke where you test them out. So you're not fully committed yet, but you want to have a timing set up so that if they are like trying to blind counter you that hard, then you can commit enough to call them out on their bullshit. But if they're not, then you're still working on a plan B. So I don't think you have to like go all in 4 gate blind counter, but you do have to like set up at least one little bit of pressure, test the waters a bit.
Yeah, if you can defend like that for sure, I think it's good. But I'm still not totally convinced that you can hold like 4 gates with this for sure.
I actually think the problem beyond the 4 gate versus 3 gate robo isn't even with the busting of the ramp. It's actually that it gets to a certain point where they just pull back, throw down a Nexus, and go blink Stalker, and now it's 1 base, and you're like teching the Colossus, and they're doing a base trade with massive Stalkers. Blink. That's really hard to deal with.
Well, I usually just don't attack. That's how a lot of good players have lost, because they're in the mindset of, hey, I'm doing 1 base Colossus, this is all about a timing attack, and they go out there, but like a lot of times Yeah, you have to take your natural, and it's pretty much, I think, a close game at that point. It depends how people are going to adjust their compositions from there.
You're actually exactly right. That is the perfect response. I guess what I was speaking to is like, in generalities, I think you're also right that people typically get locked into this like one-base timing against the blink stalkers, and they commit to it, and that's when it becomes really hard.
Yeah.
But lately, like people, the higher end Protosses have been actually just expanding slower, but with the higher tech and the better army composition, and then it's like it's pretty equal that way, if not advanced to the Robo.
Yeah. And the Robo guy has obs, so he can see exactly how the blink stalker guy is adjusting his comp.
So there you go, people that are listening. That's a super big chunk of advice right there.
Yeah, now I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about in PvP during the show.
Way more to talk about in PvP.
Dan sabotaged us.
PvP is pretty fun right now. There's a lot of different builds for people doing. I still lose a lot, but it's fun.
Sock, can you try to hit your... Oh, there, you did it.
Has anyone used a mothership yet in Vortex?
And the new patch, you mean?
Yeah, I really want to know.
No.
I did it in single player.
Can the units attack when they come out?
No.
Howdy, folks.
And it's real quick, too. Like, it says 1.5 seconds, but that's 1.5 game seconds, and, like, it starts, like, as soon as the vortex ends. Like, they're not even anywhere near on-stacked completely at the point where it comes out. Like, it's pretty much, it only prevented the one shot. Like, right after... Okay. Yeah, once they're spread enough that they can't be one-shotted by Archon Splash, and then it's off.
That's not bad. That's still... Because it still bunches them up to a certain degree, and I think they still take, like, Colossus and Archon damage.
Yeah,
right?
I think there will still be a bit of splash going on there, more than they would normally get.
And Storm would be really good in that situation, too. Like, beastly good, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. It's not the Archon Toilet, but you know what? I think the Archon Toilet was pretty overpowered.
It's pretty broken, man.
CBZ is like, okay, well, here I go. Let's play cat and mouse. It was so sad. And the weirdest part about it, too, is every Zerg I ever faced or seen that go up against them, they didn't even try. They just quit. They're like, whatever, attack move, and they get sucked in and then sniped, and they're like, GG. They just don't care. It was weird. I watched Zelnick quit on Axlab yesterday, and he had 6 bases. He had split map on Shattered Temple. Lose the army. GG. All right.
I'm going to have to center Sock on his own. Because you won't center your webcam, man.
He's got a link to him, man.
I can fix it. I can fix it.
Oh, he can fix it. Oh, shit. But
now
you're on the left.
How did you do that, Sock?
It's magic, man.
Wow.
It's European
Look at this
magic
guy.
right there. Look at this guy. He actually has a webcam, Jeff.
BMW engineering here. Uh-huh.
All right. I guess we're supposed to get started here in a second. I have to rewind something without showing people, so I guess I'm just going to take the stream down for 1 second.